Hello, I'm Stephen Monkey Mason and welcome to the audio podcast for Python. And I'm pressing play right. Oh man, I'm pressing play right. Better turn the fucking thing down now. Sorry, pressing play now. This is a watch along, it's just a comedy. I'm multitasking today. I will be back with the guys tomorrow for Batman and Batman Returns. That's the next podcast. But I've decided to pick Python. I've got a couple of interesting stories. I watched Python and Python 2, or also known as Snakes, but I will get to that in a second, the other night, so it's quite fresh in my memory. Main first story, I've just recently finished watching Cobra Kai, Season 2, finished last night. I think I was halfway through the end of Season 1 the other night when I put on Python, and obviously I was fucking shocked when I was watching it, because, fuck me, the credits on the back of Python are terrible. I can never remember his name now. William Zedber. I want to say that. Johnny from Cobra Kai's in it, and I was watching Cobra Kai and the Karate Kid. I was like, I know Johnny from somewhere, and it wasn't the Karate Kid, because back in the day I'd seen Karate Kid a few times, but it was never my go-to movie. And then I was watching this, and I just finished Cobra Kai, came up here, set up the editing studio, and started cutting away and stuff, and he fucking popped up and here, this is where I know I'm from. So that was the first story. The next funny story, there's two coming here, is the guy is literally in the world's biggest cargo aeroplane peeking through. Like, don't go in there, but he's going to go in there. I remember this from back in the day on VHS, and again, I'm doing this mainly because my Anacondas podcast is doing quite well. I've probably talked about Python on there, but Python came out on that era of like straight to films, and obviously Python was never part of like the Hollywood DVDs like Octopus and Spiders and Crocodile. Python was definitely its own, like, not the same company, but again along that lines. And I remember on Big Box VHS, and also at the same time a film called King Cobra came out. And I've still got King Cobra on Big Box VHS with Mr. Miyagi in. And King Cobra was a practical effect movie. There was a cobra as well as a rattlesnake and a python all mixed together. And there's some very creepy shit in it because it's a real life animation. Electronic, and especially like there's a bit where it's creeping behind the television, there's a bit where it's lying on the floor, there's just some really startling creepy imagery, and Mr. Miyagi's in it as well, and as all that's going down, at the same time. And Python, I got lost in the shuffle. I've still got King Cobra, but I don't have Python anymore. I don't know what happened to it. Me probably saying, oh, watch this, as we fade into the guy's eyes, and very, the CGI is not too bad in the aeroplane until it crashes and you think, oosh. It's not too bad. Someone's had the smart idea to hide it behind a hill and pants. That looks like the back door in New Zealand, that. But yeah, so again, I was aware of this film and I hadn't seen it for years. Now, here is the funniest fucking story about Python. When I went up to see my old housemate, Michael Galley, he had moved to Edinburgh. There's a girl that's lying, legs wide open, booby shot, and it's a reveal. It's a girl on girl action. Me and Gally, I got to Edinburgh, and Gally just dragged us out this night out, and man, he had been up there for just over a year, and we trailed across Edinburgh. I'm surprised I was still standing. Especially when you go to a place you don't know and then you meet a lot of people. Obviously Gally knows a lot of people up there as well, and it was just the way it was gone. And the next morning I got up at Gally's apartment. It's very near the banana flats, which obviously we're using train spotting, and it gets up, he goes, right, we're going to go for a bacon buddy. And bear in mind, I probably should have told you this bit of the story. When I was coming up to Edinburgh, I actually got on the wrong train. Now, you think, how was that possible? The two trains to Edinburgh were 5 minutes apart, and I got on the train that turned up at the next platform, and they were like, oh, it's going to be 85 quid to stay on this train. I was like, fuck off, man. There's hardly anyone on here. It was just fucking ludicrous. So I had to change fucking trains at Newcastle. And I had to run across a different track and whatever. I was like, for fuck's sake. So Gally and all that were all laughing at us, going, oh, make sure you get on the wrong train. So Gally was coming with us to the train station, and I was just like, I don't need help getting on the right train. I've got on a plane and got all the way to the other side of the world. That's something about the northeast, and I just get lost. So anyway, I was tweetling on, and we went down, got around the corner, and Gally was just like, right, we're going to get a bacon sandwich, and went in, and it was like half a cafe on one side, or there was just a small canteen area, and you order your food and you waited, and it was quite small and it was quite popular, but for some reason I had a stack of DVDs, and I was like, fucking hell, and Gally said, oh, here you go, and I was just digging through, and out of all these DVDs, I seen Python, and it's the actual copy I'm watching right now, and I was like, I've got to have this, so I bought Python then and there. And then you never guess what fucking happened. So I have a bacon sandwich, we walk along the train centre, I get in there, Gally's like, right, that's the train you need to be on. I was like, fucking nah, it's fine, man, don't fucking worry. And I turned around after Gally had left us, and I remember messaging Gally, and I was like, guess who's behind me? So I was standing in the train section looking at the big board, turned around, and Will Wheaton was standing right behind us. Now, if you go online, Welcome to Edinburgh, I've done a little mini movie about that. It's all on that, but again, I turned around. Will Wheaton looked at us. I looked at him and went, it's kind of fucking baffling, because it was like I enjoy that moment of him going, "Yep, hi, you're right," and just that passing of life. That means more to me than anything. But what I really should have done, because I couldn't grasp that Will Wheaton and his wife were standing behind us, the fact that I could have just went, "Will you sign fucking Python for us?" And again, everyone says, "Oh, it's a total missed opportunity," but I was just like, I don't like walking up to people like that. But it would have been a surreal moment. But yeah, it was a missed opportunity. So yeah, so going back to me being a big fan of Python, as this woman's in this massive tent now. So I remember being in London, I think roughly around 2002-ish. I went down there, and I remember going, me, Cooper and all that, we had a gang, crawled the streets of London, and Python just come up the screen, and metal music kicking in, diddle. I remember we're in London, and I remember finding this shop, and I remember going in. They had loads of posters for sale, they had loads of memorabilia and stuff like that, and then I remember they had the downstairs the DVDs, and I remember they had the import, and I remember seeing on the shelf there, I was like, fucking hell. And they're like, oh guys, what's the matter? And it's like Python 2 was on the shelf, and you could just see a green, I think a red snake was on the front cover. There's Will Wheaton's name on the top there. And I was like, fucking hell. And everyone's like, well, what's the matter? I was like, oh, it's Python 2. And everyone's like, what the fuck, man? And again, I'm into that kind of shit, you know. So anyway, life goes by, and Python 2 never sees the light of day. So I'm like, what the fuck happened to Python 2? You know what I mean? And again, this probably happens after we had Will Wheaton. There's some fucking Will Wheaton, man. Robert Englund's name just appeared on the screen. Boa versus Python. We had Boa. We had Umpteen Anacondas. We've had Anaconda versus Lake Placid. And I remember picking up a film called Snakes, and I was like, fuck me, man, the front cover. So as I look at the front covers right now, it is exactly the same stake, exactly the same pose, this is exactly the same layout. One snake, the original Anaconda, the original Python is the green, looks really good CGI. The other one just looks like negatives just being hit on it, and that's it. And it's I was like, oh, that looks like that. So I put it on, and I shit you not, and this has been in a few videos, I fucking paused it because I was watching it and I was taking it in, and Python 2 comes up for a second frame before Snakes just comes right over the front, and I was like, fuck my life. This is it's Python 2, but not only has it been renamed, the fucking fonts has been chucked over the top of it, and I could not believe it. And then I started watching it, and then I've worked in Bulgaria, and Carla and Bomber, the people I knew, all start turning up in it, and I'm like, hang on a minute, what's going on here? And obviously this one looks like it has been shot around America quite easy. There you go, Mr. Cobra Kai there. He has aged so fucking well. Again, this is a bit of a Karate Kid, there's this ongoing feud though. He's playing the copper, new kid coming back to town. But yeah, I remember watching it and going, fucking hell, it's people I know. Now the other night when I watched it, Cobra Kai turns back up again, and I was like, this is not a sequel, and we'll get to that. That's why I'm going to do both of them back to back, because the CGI is so bad, and then is a spot people I've worked with before. So again, dun dun dun. Anyway, name checking on this movie. You know, Casper Van Dieten's in this. Will Wheaton's in this. Robert Englund's in this. William. I mean, they've got quite a big cast now for this. So I generally think this. I mean, this could become a little resurgent cult hit. This one on Netflix, especially if they slap Johnny on it. The front cover. I'm gonna have to get this on IMDb. There you go. Back to work, getting harassed. Again, borrowing a bit from Karate Kid. Getting harassed. Dun dun dun. Oh, it's his brother's thing in it. Chemical plant. Oop. Dun dun dun. Paul Ray is watching Unhinged. Dun dun dun. Let's get a Python on here. But yeah, they were my main stories. Again, love of movies. Not seen this lead actor in anything. His brother though. Looks quite familiar. So Python is 2000s, classed as a TV movie. Got it up. We're in for, on this podcast, and the fucking font of the credits on here is shocking. They're all over the top of each other. I might make a video about these. 96 minutes. So yeah, Python's got a different cover on IMDb. 50 and 139 minutes. William Zabka. That's him. That's the fucker. Johnny Lawrence. Oh, Paul Ray. Piss off. Jenny McCarthy's in this as well. So you know what I mean? It's Gary Scrubs. You recognise him. So there's quite a few. Python 2's there. Crocodile. Boa versus Python. New Alcatraz. Trivia. Did you know? Let's have a look. There's Will Wheaton appears with his fucking purple pink hair. A full-scale Python head was considered and used during filming, but once it was seen on screen but never once seen on screen. So they had a full head, and that's the only trivia on IMDb, and that was it. Excellent. Dun, dun, dun. But they look fucking freezing in there. Casper Van Dieten's fucking voice in this is fucking appalling. Again, having Robert Englund in there, it's, you know, it's had a bit of a budget. I can't believe that's the only fucking credit. Taglines: 60 feet of pure terror. Get in. This year's Lake Placid, created by nature, redesigned by man. That is what's on the UK distribution. Now, the UK distribution is in fact Prism Leisure. Now, Prism Leisure did a lot of stuff early on after the first wave of DVDs. Boom. But they've even, like, you know, double-sided printed it, and it's a lush paper. It's aged really well. It's got the credit. It's got the store. It's got really bad font on the back, like, but yeah, you can send away for it if you want. But yeah, Python. I can't see this coming out on Blu-ray. The CGI has not aged well. King Cobra. Again, it's all practical effects. Mr. Miyagi running around fighting it. Nuts. Dun dun dun. It's down to the pool. Like they go to karate when they go to the beach. Hitting on the girl. There's very similar taglines. So I'm just doing a little tagline. My idea and plan today is do this, get it mastered, double mastered. In that meantime, I'm going to paint. I'm going to keep myself productive. I had Jack here at fucking 9 o'clock this morning. Oh, well, I thought you'd be awake. I'm like, dude, we're in lockdown. I know I'm on you. I know he's my, like, wonder person he can come to, but like, nah. Too early for a podcast, that's for sure. Fucking cold water. I don't recognise her as well. Fuck me, I mean, Bristol Dive, that rock there. Dun dun dun. There's a snake. Everyone knows who the snake belongs to. Local slut by the looks of it. Everyone knows who the snake belongs to. I'm not a fan of snakes. Like, people who keep like, you see people with the snakes and like wake up and they're like measuring them on the bed and stuff. He just happens to be creeping around. He's fucking aged so well, that guy, mind. Everyone knows who the snake is. See, I don't think it's a really like bad written film. I think the new age metal, like, again, it's just a sign of the times. Intro, you know, like riding out fast on his bike and stuff like that. Where the fuck's that for? And that's one thing, but that age and the CGI, it just that get it done. But not to say that, you know, that it wasn't a bad script, especially like, you know, like Will Wheaton, William Zabka, Robert Englund, and Casper Van Dien. These are like, you know, like names you would get going. And the kid right now who's just appeared on the right, obviously he's the kid from Batman Returns. He's an Employee of the Month. He's been in a fuckload of movies, him. Let's go back to IMDb. I forgot about him. He's been on loads as well. Dun, dun, dun. Sorry, the chair is shockingly bad. Deputy Sean Whelan. Yep. Sean looks hell of a lot better on his IMDb picture. Sean Whelan. He's in Twister. Obviously, that's a big popular one he's in. Free from Hell. Magnum PI. Yeah, he's been in fucking loads. Just flicking down stuff more recent or more past around this time. Mystery Woman, of course, The Last Shot, Midsummer's Night, Charlie's Angels, he's in that. Python, so we're at Python. He's Employee of the Month, he's fucking class in that. It says The Newspaper Boy, and Robin Hood, Batman Returns. He's in Ferris Bueller, the TV series as well. Revenge of the Nerds 3, Doppelganger, Stepmother. He's been in a lot. Dun dun dun. I'll find a way. Like cocky, like that guy's tiny. It's the cocky cocky coroner, county coroner. It makes us feel like it's filmed around the area of Dante's Peak. It's got that climate look to it. This fucking body there just coming out the back end of a snake. Anaconda has been rumoured since I did the first podcast to have a big budget remake. Again. So what do you do? I watched Snakes on a Plane recently as well. I think the scary thing about snakes is like, you know, you get bitten, like you get bitten, you die, the venom and stuff like that. Or it's just, I don't know. Can you trust the snake? They've got no emotion. I'm just updating some vids. Will Wheaton back. Wonder why he never did his sideboards. Oh, fuck off phone. So sponsored biker. remember seeing him in Flubber. Just, if you're going to be crucial, if you look in the background and the windows they're passing, you can see all the crew sitting in the back of the fucking... you can see all the crew sitting in the back of the fucking truck. In the window. The reflection of the window across the street, and then you can see the camera rig as well. Oh dear. Oh, Kenny the closer. See, Will Wheaton went on to have a big career in Star Trek, and I remember going to pictures to see Flubber, and he popped up as the bad guy, and that is the spoiled brat. Really funny. He's always taking pictures of cups of tea on his Instagram. Funniest thing I've ever seen Will Wheaton was when he was reunited with Corey Feldman on the audio commentary for Stand By Me. Corey Feldman can't work out the age gap with his kids, and he's like, how are your kids that age? He's like, I remarried, dude. And he's like, oh. Now, I wish I had this signed, just fucking standing right behind us, man, the train station. I fucking love Edinburgh, like. Dun, dun, dun. I went back up to Edinburgh, I think about a year and a half later. I just went up to hang out with Gally as well. Both them videos went to Edinburgh on the YouTube channel. Dun 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 dun. Checking out the back. Now he appears in the sequel, which baffled me. So when I was after the other night, I was watching it, and he turns up as a completely different character, but same name. But now, and it does have a little bit of a flashback to this, but warrant that the fact that he's now a fucking trained fucking must catch this fucking snake. And then I'm watching Twin Peaks, and I've never seen Twin Peaks before, and I've just literally finished the first two series, and I'm halfway through the new series, and it's fucking epic. The new series, like proper fucking epic, right? And as the cast from the past start turning up in little roles. Bobby from Twin Peaks appeared in it. I was like, fucking hell. Again, like he's playing the same kind of characters he does in Karate Kid. He's fucking class in Cobra Kai. Oh, there he is, Robert Englund. I mean, he kind of knows what you're doing with him. You hire him, you get him for a few weeks, you get them for a few weeks. You team them all up by the end of the movie. I mean, he's always all going to be known as Freddy Krueger, and you know what I mean? But like, he directed, what was it? 96669 Hell Evil or whatever. I mean, he had his double in his directing and all that, and but like he knows what he's doing with this. Do you know what I mean? It's like you work for a couple of weeks, you get paid. Like Jennifer McCarthy here, like you got the budget for the movie and get them in there. I mean, then Anaconda was a big hit, and it's 4 years later, but like. This came along the era where CGI was like getting cheap enough for them to do, and they were pushing films out, especially like DVD markets. You know what I mean? Like you could get them out cheaper. Like back in the day, VHS, you would have to wait for it to get done in real time, and then it might, like again now, as a digital era, as more films get made, just because people want stuff to watch. Sometimes now films aren't made serious enough for like an audience, but they're done as a filler. Like TV channels, I mean, there's multiple ways. If you make a movie, there's multiple ways you could sell it. I mean, you could dream to have a physical copy and, you know what I mean, get all the work for that. But at the end of the day, if like you're willing to like sell it off and there you go, and done and dusted, and you come out of it and you're not like, you know, in any debt of it. But again, it just depends what availability there is. There's loads of platforms you could sell movies for now, and this was specifically made for fucking DVD. Do you know what I mean? And it did that well enough. It had a sequel made, but you know, here's a scene just shot around a house, empty house. There we go. Oh, it's massive. It's all hot and fucking bothered. Kenny the closer. She tries to whittle him down on his mortgage. It was that easy to get a fucking mortgage. Now we can hear scraping in the background. Brittany's doing a bit of housework before I go and paint. Get to work, Brittany. Oh no. Yeah. Must look like a fucking different actor there. When I'm in, I watch some really weird shit, like, to be honest with you. I'll go in the back and I'll just go, right, either I've watched that or not watched that, and I just like doing weird shit. Can't help it. It's addictive. It's Kenny the closest putting the fucking moves on her. It's like fucking killing her upper lip there. It's fucking weird. Like, oh, what's that meant to be like? Get that fucking hair track tape on the go. Here's Casper Von Degen. Oh, his fucking weirdness and the weird fucking deliveries. He's just weird in this. Absolutely weird. But again, him and Robert Englund. He just, you know, someone had to make it. Like with King Cobra, like it shows you it breaking out and it just fucking sticks its head up and its head sticks out and it's just fucking scary. I love a backstory of creation, like the discovery of it or something like that. But like when it's just like, nah, it was getting transported and it broke out. So I'm just unlocking a new video with Robert Englund. Never met Robert Englund. One of my friends, Rachel, massive Robert Englund fan. I think she's really friends with him on Facebook. Very passionate about his fans. I've not heard a bad word about him. It's someone I thought I might have met in the last couple of years with the horror shows and stuff, but not yet. If I do meet him, I will be taking my Freddy's Parking Only street sign that my granddad bought in America when I was a kid. Was ages in his shed, and I finally took it down to preserve it because it would come to the elements really. So you would have to be very careful, but it would be a great story to tell him. Matt Davies was well impressed with it. But yeah, that's what I would get signed off him. Casper Von Dien, is that how Casper Von Dien? I never really had a much success away from Starship Troopers. I mean, he's came back to the franchise. He's produced it. He's been the voice in the series. Came back for the third. You know, he was in Sleepy Hollow. Great as a jock, but I think, you know, was he in Shark Attack as well? So Shark Attack 1, 2 and 3, they were, I don't think Shark Attack was as bad as it was, but again, he's just, he's had a weird career as well, like, this fucking Kenny the Closer's fucking been a bit of a sex pest. Kenny the Closer gets killed in the garage, doesn't he? I only seen it the other night, but again, I might be focusing on that as he hits the hard sell. That upper lip, what's that about? Just waddling around. I don't know what the fuck I would do if I see the snake that big. get yourself a samurai sword. That's right. I said to myself that I would start putting more than 2 tags on my YouTube videos. I'm fucking terrible at it's Kenny's Porsche. I mean, that's a nice looking Porsche. That I love the bulkiness of it at the back. It's got the spoiler on. That's a really nice looking Porsche, which clearly just had its bonnet lifted off just for the shot. Like, who trashed my Porsche? Does it look like? Yeah, it's got like a replacement bonnet on it. Yeah. Who did this? I mean, is it above him? I think it's above him, isn't it? And then he's going to get you. Dun dun dun. Calm down, Kenny. Where is it again? Can't be that good of a hider. It's meant to be fucking 80 foot of terror. Oh, the box is moving. I love that again though. Like, again, I mean, it comes around the back, doesn't it? This is quite the first reveal of it, really. But the idea of, like, no, it's not. Is this just a rat or something? Yeah, it is. Obviously, it's the whole, like, it's tricking them. So there's the real thing. Let's go, wow, what the fuck's that? And there it goes. I mean, that doesn't look bad at the first reveal. You can tell the contrast of the colours drop a little bit, and I mean they do hold on it way too much there, and that looks terrible. But you know, that could not hide behind them boxes. Kenny the closer would see that. But again, the shorter the better cuts. As I say, like I like it when they give a bit of history about animals you wouldn't really know, because I mean, to be honest with you, them special effects look better than Anaconda effects. The King Cobra would lay a possum, and Miss Miyagi's like poking it with a stick. Why the fuck is that went off there? That better have saved my hashtags while I was fucking chatting away there. Jeremy Coffey, just seeing a body. I mean, look at that, man. It's just fucking. You just wouldn't have that. He just looks terrible there. Kenny the clothes has just exploded. Oh, he's still alive. Oh. It's got quite a good scream. Oh, and she gets decapitated. Honestly, that wasn't a bad decapitation. You would give it that. No, I don't want to play the video. I want to go back to editing it. You fucking bastard. You haven't saved any of it. Right. It's Kenny the closer meets his own demise, trying to get out the fucking car park. YouTube's just totally fucking shafted us. Ugh. It's just been fucking jizzed on by the snake. Now Kenny the closer's dead. It's just done again. Fuck you, YouTube. YouTube's been a right dick. Just fucking get back to this in a minute. He just so happens to be turned up at the house. They look like they've got keys in the door. He just happens to be at the house. Dun dun dun. Oh, he gets arrested, doesn't he? Straight for the camera. Dun, dun, dun. I remember some of the scenes at the end where he's like fucking hanging over the edge and stuff. Going for the knife. There you go. Dun dun dun. Want to see a head? Hope the door's shut. Blood. That tail's got some action. Casper Von Dien. Fucking laying down the plan. I want to get a better backstory. If I want a better backstory. Robert Englund lays it down thick. Silence for just a fucking massive fucking piping. Right. Fuck you, YouTube. Now you have to hear me typing. So apologies. Oh, Paul Ray message on us. Put it down the floor so you can't really hear it. Yeah, he's got this little sex pesh tash going on, full on suit. Johnny Rico hair. He's weird, like, because in Starship Troopers, he's kind of like, yeah, he's the bad guy, but like, you kind of like, he's almost and essentially like a bad guy in it. He's like the jock, you know, like the kind of, it's like the film where the jock wins kind of thing. Just, you know. Big ass scene. This is where the fucking extra 9 minutes are. An hour and a half movie, the max, like. Fucking office. Fucking huge office, that. Big ass fax machine behind them. Kind of doing the whole Jurassic Park, isn't he? I think he was fantastic in New Nightmare. Just that whole he was fucking brilliant in Freddy vs Jason as well. I think just that character. So, but again, if you can make a living after doing one film, and at the end of the day, he's probably, you know, had a nice, easy going. Be some bumpy roads, I don't imagine, but if you like, again, how big conventions are now or were, and the fact that again you can get into these movies where, you know, you go away, you make more money than you would making a 9-to-5 job at minimum wage in 2 weeks than a whole year. Do you know what I mean? It just it depends on people's lifestyles. The guy, the fucking coroner's tiny, bless him. He's being quite a lot. He's the judge and someone, I think. Right, sheriff. Bless him. Oh, bless that other guy, just completely sitting out of scene. Getting nuts with the police tape. You're definitely hoping for more for this movie, like, but we're shutting it down. I'm sorry. The trouble past your younger brother. It's been done quite a lot in movies. I don't think they're well cast as brothers though. This is the Two Stooges as well. He's got working for them and that. It's just fucking weird. Oh, and I just wrecked his bike. And this is where we get a bit of a Karate Kid fight going. Yeah, it's pretty extreme. I mean, he didn't break a leg or anything, but his bike just completely looked like it's been in a fucking compactor. Still even falling on the floor on the carpet there again. So here we go. Fight right out in the middle of the street. Again, this looks like the same kind of area as Fast Getaway. I mean, obviously there was no film. I'm gonna have a look back at the film locations, like, but you know, that sort of looks a bit. Probably just go for it, like. Do you know karate? Work park bench fall, pretty cool. Into the kids' playground. Oh, a monkey bar kick. Again, it's the kind of similar, you know, it's the old school rivalry. A forward flip there. Oh, here, head first down the fucking slide, man. I mean, don't get us wrong, it's well covered on the angles and stuff like that, but quite ludicrous. See again, he's quite. He sort of has this old school here, but then turns a court. Confession that, I mean, his bike got totaled there, like. Not a very well good bike if that was the impact. I mean, he had no broken bones or anything. When you think I'm going to sort these fucking tags out. Just looked at the video there, put one tag, it just says VHS, like, well done, Stephen. I was spat in the bin, you know. Yeah, I definitely think this could be a little Netflix gem if it got repackaged, especially slap his face on it, you know what I mean? Slap his face and Will Wheaton on, like Will Wheaton and him have now surpassed Casper Van Dien and Robert Englund at this point. Look at him. He's the one like gagging for it. Like, let's fucking get this going. I'll sort my tags out. Bless him. Coroners are always got like a dark sense of humour, and I like him when aye, dead. Like, it's always like that awkward moment, like the people are there and they got the comedy, like, what the fuck is he? Ah, sorry, I didn't know where I was for a second. henchman. Dun dun dun. It's a nice big ass mobile phone, isn't it? Listen to me, you little pipsqueak. He's probably older than him. Again, fast getaway error. You know, it just looks like that. I need to check that while this video is saved. Let's have a look. The forecast for 5 days of snow after the day. I'm like, oh, brilliant. He's more. That mobile phone half as big as his chest. Johnny's not here. Johnny's busy. Film and locations I want. Connections follows by New Alcatraz. Let's have a look what that means. Oh, so New Alcatraz, Python 2 and Boar versus Python are all connected. So New Alcatraz I didn't mention before. It's just easy to arrest somebody, isn't it? Film locations, Santa Carla, California. So yeah, California's a big place, like, but Los Angeles, Malibu, so it's all around the California area. Filmed in June 1999. Yeah. Classed as comedy. Action comedy. Sticky Sticky Ashtray, performed by Damn. There's a song on it. 99 minutes. Colour, time. There's no budget. Straight to DVD. It's got some goofs. Let's have a look at the goofs why she gives him a handful. Film depicts a python with fangs, but python actually kill through strangulation, not through venom. Python fangs. And someone's fatal errors. Python doesn't have teeth. Like, or it doesn't have fangs. But like again, it's a science experiment. You know what I mean? There's been again, it says redesigned by man, so that one's a bit of a flop on that one. Yeah. So let's have a look at this New Alcatraz because that's actually just popped up. Let's just click on a thing that says Ultimate Trash Movies. It's not letting us click to it. I'm trying. I am trying. Dun dun dun. He's just had enough, and he's a total, like, in this bit he's just like, right, I've had enough of him, you know, this is just my job, you know, this guy isn't such much a dick. Getting put in the second one is it, right, fucking anacondas must die. Him, you know, eager to undercut him, eager to a Twin Peaks vibe there. Right, let's go back to what I was originally doing before Fuck me, how blue are his eyes? They're like fucking deep blue, sea blue. Fucking hell. Good cop, bad cop. He plays the assistant manager and employee of the month. It's a really good film, that. Kick it off and he probably laid it down. They were quite a big role for him, like, again, you know, like, he's the kind of people, like, you'll recognise from films, but you never seen him on the front cover of a DVD, have you? The guy's had a few little scars on his face, like. Look at that, dun dun dun, big steps down. Fucking Burt Gummer's fucking hideout. Little Robert Englund coming down them steps on the briefcase. Look how they got like down there and that. They haven't even bothered putting the fucking posters up properly on the wall and that. Fuck me, man. Probably are there. Oh, better wait. Chambers is alive. I'll have to film Chambers' video on this reel. Keep an eye on them background actors. He has got an evil face, but he's like kind of. I say like he just pops up in movies. He sort of. This is like his heyday. But Starship Troopers, you know what I mean? Fucking big movie, just never had that fucking follow up they needed. You know what I mean? Like, look at Aliens, right? They made the decision we're going to wait. We like what James Cameron's like half wrote, but he's off doing the Terminator finally. So we're going to wait. Like, we're going to wait till we have a good director and a good script. Not like, right, let's get another one out quick. Doing, dusted. They'll find the shredded skin. Look at that, dissolves. I mean that's just fucking. It's passing the time in it, but like dissolve transactions. Yeah, it's hitting the slow motion. There's a lot going on, like. Slow motion walking through the water, like dun dun dun. Looks like. Again though, like he talk about where you would keep your money and stuff like here, open land. Yeah, you're looking for a snake, you're gonna be out in the open land. You have to worry about fucking crowd control or anything like that out in the background. You know, it's a kind of movie like, oh yeah, you want to be in the movie, right? You need to go here. Like, you might get one of the actors being quite a bit of a diva going, I'm not fucking going in there, but like again, they're signed on the dotted line to do it. Just depends, you know. You don't want to get the reputation of being someone who's unworkable with. I mean, it's dwelling, you know what I mean? Because like when you like when you go away and you go to work on a production, doesn't matter if it's in England or a different country. It's just like the first few days, like you kind of experience it all the way through a shoot because like different locations, different that. I mean, the first time you get there, you get to know everybody. You get introduced to people. You go right, that you know what I mean. I mean, each movie normally has the same kind of setup. You know what I mean, and the same kind of like schedules and stuff like that. You know, so you can't really go forward with that. But like, you go to different locations. You take over. It might be for a couple of days. Might be for a day. Might be for 3 weeks. You know what I mean? And it's like it's daunting. But like, you know what I mean? Did you get to the point where I talked about this with Feldman? And like, I was watching a film called Round Trip to Heaven, and this is midway through Feldman's career, and the film just takes this weird dream sequence in the middle. Oh, there's that snake tail again. And like, just imagine being Corey Feldman and like everything he's experienced over his life and all the situations and film stuff he's been in. It'll be like, you know what I mean? Would you become fucking overexcited anymore? Is that what fizzles out? You know what I mean? It's just crazy. Do people just dial in a performance like this? You know what I mean? Because you hear stories of people that want more money and stuff like this, and it's the kind of movie it is where, you know, they're only going to have the actors for X amount of days, and you know, all this stuff would have been shot away from the guys, and I think they cross over a little bit, but oh yeah, it's a fucking snake coil they're all shooting at. It's fucking going nuts. I mean, just totally like Predator montage, isn't it? I mean, how many fucking grenades gonna shoot off? There's 4. 5. 5 bazookas. 5 fucking bazookas, man. Yeah, we did it. We just completely annihilated the woods. There you can't go down that void. I can hear a car, but it's not me, mate. You see King Cobra, like there's a bit where there's a big scene around the tree. It almost looks like the same tree. So yeah, this is essentially filmed around the same area as Karate Kid and Cobra Kai as well. Yep, we blew up a snake skin. It's gonna execute him. Bang. Go to the head. You will obey me. How dare you talk to me? I just, oh, bless him. No. I remember Shark Attack not being too bad. And I think Ernie Hudson's in it as well. I think it's in South Africa. Because I think Casper Van Dien is South African. If I'm right, I'll have a look into that after this. And like, they made a Shark Attack 2 and, oh, don't go into the grass! And then Shark Attack 3 came out, and that has some of the worst special effects you've ever seen. It's just where it's a normal shark and they've just made people dead small in Photoshop. And a few people I know from that are in that. And I remember working with him, and I was like, weren't you in Shark Attack 3? And just remember him looking at us and went, oh. There you go. So Casper Van Dien and Robert Englund staring down the Python right now. You think obviously they would be in the end of the movie. I mean, we're only halfway through it. Considering Casper Van Dien gets his name at the top billing on the DVD. So he stares into the anaconda. Python. And one of them's going to get it. Who's it going to be? You're a threat. You've got the gun. And that gun's not really going to do anything. That tail's back. Creeping around the back. Remember, you can de-head you. De-head. Stabbed in the back. Johnny Rico's down. He's not getting reanimated this time. So yeah. So yeah, do you know me? I'm your father. I'm the Snake Man. And it's off, leaves him alone. Casper Van Dien is dead now, he's out the picture. He's got his little snake in his hand. Fucking hell. Looks like a fucking house from Justified. Oh yeah, because she invites him over. He thinks he's going to get time, but then he's got to sleep downstairs. And to be honest with Will Wheaton, looks like he's past that era to start, and he gets fucking killed in the hallway, doesn't he? Which is pretty bad. There you go. Being a sex pest. Nope, you're sleeping on the couch. Damn it! Getting like, oh, fucking black cat scare. Tell you what, like, it's fucking brutal on Snakes on a Plane when the fucking dog and the cat get it. You think fucking no holds barred on that one. They don't even have a fucking shower and all that. But they look like in the fucking mid-20s. They want to do a stakeout. I've learnt my lesson. Sleep with his cap on, Crocodile Dundee style. So the next day. It'd be dead funny if he was in bed with her. I mean, come on, look how big her bed is. If that's to the other side of the wall, I mean, fucking hell. It's a fucking drool, like Britney. Hey. I'm just going downstairs. I would love a basement like that. I mean, I would be down there right now just like fucking renovating it the fuck, you know what I mean? Like, you just don't have basements here in the UK. You don't have basements really in New Zealand because of the type of land and stuff like that, but like, oh man, it's just be mint to have a fucking basement. Hope Neely had some boobies there. Oh, snake view. Here it comes. For rocking out. Dun dun dun. Knocking at the door. It's Saying, see, shots like that don't look too bad. Oh, Drew listens up. So do they all take a wee. Yeah, if you wonder what I'm doing is oh, she actually got her boobs out. We see the boob. Fuck me, that was pretty high toilet roll, wasn't it? See there, great. Psycho version. That happens to me all the time. There's a duck in the background. See, that's like, yeah, that's really cool. Oh, I've done that once in my life. See, just fucking at the shower curtain. And there he gets killed here. Bam! Oh no. He gets killed in that hallway. She's about to get it like fucking shampoo in its eyes. Be fucking screwed there, like, wouldn't you? Towel whipping a fucking snake, I mean, come on. I mean, that doesn't look too bad. Don't throw the duck at him. The duck. Just threw the duck on his head. She gets the pole, doesn't she? I used to look forward to it like all the time, like back in the day. Like Global were better. Like Global were better for like getting like films in quite quickly, and like getting the mass range out. And this is like kind of one of them. Like, yeah, Will Wheaton's just been dragged off to his death, gone. She's gonna hightail it out of there, like. Oh no! You know, titles were really bad for just getting the one copy, and then Blockbusters back in the day wouldn't get any kind of low budget stuff. Blockbuster, I think in the UK never really, like, the fucking snake's gonna chase the car. Never really like sort of, you know, if it wasn't a big hit of the pictures, they sort of like in like lower card stuff, they didn't bother. But again, that's what, you know, you have a good offer back in the day, like rent 2 get 1 free, and people would take a chance at stuff like that. You wouldn't go in and go, right, I want the new Python movie. I mean, I would. Have you got Python 2 in barrel? No. But like, you know, well, oh god, she's getting chased off the snake, isn't she? Oh yes. Oh, it's gone through the bush. Shake the bush. It's a fucking ninja, man. Say blow move to have it out in the open as well. I mean, that didn't look too bad. I don't think I've talked about this before, but like one of my exes years ago, it was described as like a brother had moved out in a brother's bedroom. They sort of had this compartment above the stairs, which would essentially been a cupboard, but what they did was convert it and have like a double glazed window, and there was just this massive python in there, and it was absolutely huge. It should have been in the fucking zoo. And like, you used to go in and just look at it and just stare at you, and you think if you ever got out, you would just fucking be like, right, you know what I mean? Because it wasn't exactly in the most big area, and oh, I'm just going to hide in the Flintstones house here. And I just remember, like, every time I stayed over, I just always said, like, make sure the dog's in there with us, because the little dog, I was just like, because if that came in, you know, it could kill you when you're asleep. You know what I mean? That, like, all it has to do is go around your neck, and you're not going to wake up, or you're going to be in for a fight. And even when you're the strongest guy, you've got no edge, you know what I mean? You can do fucking dangerous things then, man. Oh yeah, because it fucking creeps up the bridge here, doesn't it? But I don't miss that fucking thing. It's fucking terrifying. I've got some video footage of it eating a fucking rat the size of a fucking size 10 shoe, and I'm like, yep. There you go. We're nearly at the end of this movie now. Stopped in the middle of the bridge, like, what's wrong with that car? And the snake comes creeping up the side of the bridge, I think. Back of the fucking axle's missing. They really haven't had an encounter with the snake yet though, have they? Beep. More victims. It creeps around, comes up on the bridge, doesn't it? Like, hiya, I'm here. Sees it coming. I mean, that's not bad. For the time, it's really not bad. I mean, you would see that coming. Like, hiya. That's no Jurassic Park reaction, that's fucking for sure. Like, what would you think, man? Surprised they didn't have like a snake in Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, you know what I mean? You would just fucking shit yourself. And then we'll go back to the bikes. Snakes. Oh. Now we get some off-road biking and a fucking python. Ex-boyfriend having a nap. Again, going back to him, like saying like, oh yeah, we're going to make a python 2. It's going to be in Bulgaria. You know, you want to come across a couple of weeks. You know what I mean? And you go over there and like you get your flights paid for, your hotel paid for, you get the per diem, and then you get paid, and that's it. You know, you get home. You don't even see the end of the movie being filmed, and then, you know, it's your choice if they do a premiere or anything, and you get to go or anything, or you might just eventually see it on TV and go, oh dear. You know, they kind of said the special effects would be a bit better. That's what I was promised. So the annoying one's been eaten off camera, so he gets no death. Oh, they find Robert Englund hiding in here, don't they? Dun dun dun. I mean, there's a snake following you. You would shut the fucking door, wouldn't you? I mean, why have you left the door open? Just so the snake can get in? Just shut the fucking door. What is this? Hello there. Yeah, there's not long left of this movie. Dun dun dun. What's behind the blue door? Just sitting there having a mental breakdown, rocking in the corner. So a year ago today, I was somewhere over Asia, I would say, heading down towards, yeah, I would have been somewhere in Asia, heading down to Australia on the plane. I've been thinking about that like last night and stuff like that. Fucking mental, it's been a year since I've been in New Zealand, it's fucking crazy. One of the best films I've seen on the plane was on the way back. It was the Bill Murray story, Man of Myth, and it's just fucking brilliant. But it's just not available. Again, going back to like, right, where'd you watch that? Watch on the aeroplane on the way back from New Zealand. Again, people buy stuff for the aeroplanes. It's, you know what I mean? There's multiple reasons to make movies now. But then it's like old films like this, it goes, right, these fall in obscurity, and it's just like, yeah. I got some love for Python, enough to do a podcast for it. laying it down. I finished my coffee. A little bit of that. If you wonder what I'm doing in the background, every now and again I do an update video. And I mainly do them off my phone or something, and they get released straight back. And I thought, you know what? I put them out there, I don't release them and all that, and yeah, they get some views and stuff like that. But it's the fact that, like, right, get them unlocked, lock them down, because there's too much content on the channel. There's far too many videos. Getting off that rant. I leave me ranting for podcasts now. Nope. So the forecast survive. Dun dun dun. Has the sheriff been killed yet? Or is this where he finds the sheriff dead? No, he's definitely dead. The sight of the blood in there would be like enough to say, right, he's warrantedly dead. Nice makeup effect, that, like. Dun dun dun. A bit of a diggish look at his eyes there. Nope, put that bazooka down. It's been used too much in this video already. Imagine if he just fired that by mistake. I think Robert Englund would be a great cast for Darkman. I would have cast him for that. He looks like he definitely had an accent during his younger years. That's an old scar, like from like right over his top cheek. Up snake view, here it goes, zooming around. So yeah, he gets all kitted up and he goes up down the hole. They're gonna capture him, blow him up, borrow a bit from Anaconda's ending. Let's go back to Casper Van while this video saves in the background. Casper Van Dien, Brett Parker. Great profile picture on IMDb though. So he's from Florida in USA, so wherever I said he was from to begin with, forget that. And a lot of post production. Mainly known for I was in Akita. See, yeah, Tarzan and the Lost City. 1998, so like everything was shoved into Tarzan after Starship Troopers and was sort of like, right, you know, I mean, they had big potential for him, just never seemed to plays Cyclops and Deadpool the Musical 2, Galaxy Raiders Beyond the Edge, Showdown in Mala, The Last Bid, Zero Day. He's done some fucking weird shit. He's done Abraham Lincoln, The Vampire Hunter sequels, brackets short. Slayer, Rock Me Baby, Dracula Free. He just didn't really seem to hit the fucking ground running, really. I mean, he sort of like, he was in, see, Python here. So before Python, he was in Omega Code, The Border, Casper Meets Wendy. I mean, alright, you cast him in the Casper movie. Tarzan, The Lost City, Modern Vampire. James Dean, Live and Flesh, The Colony. I mean, don't get us wrong, he has worked all the way back. I mean, fuck, what I was going to say, the first thing he was in was Menu for Murder. So, you know what I mean? He was in Saved by the Bell. Dangerous Room. But, he just, to me, I mean, don't get us wrong, he's worked. He's a great character actor. Had his little peak there. Now we're gone. Fucking beating down the door. Everyone's come together. It's all going down here. You can't. Run, run. Again, I think the thing what lets the special effects down is lighting. Do you know what I mean? We get to the point of this era, especially the 2000s, where, you know, it'd been like 7 years since Jurassic Park was like a hit, and like a lot of productions and computers were changing at the time, and like the physics and stuff. Again, physics is another thing, but being able to put, you know, for years of being able to do like blue screens and stuff like that and matte paintings, you know what I mean, but making something digitally move and stuff like that, I think like with computer games and stuff, like it was there. I think it's the lighting what lets it down, and like the blacks are really black, you know what I mean, but that maybe someone have to put the effect in, but again, do what they did with Jaws, like there, that whole like it's coming, the Jaws and Silver Bullet, like if you don't need, like the less is better, especially this, the less would have been better. Fuck me, that must have fucking knocked. He was yoinked out of there. Stunt guy that's right, going to fly up there and just going to go flying. I mean, fuck me, man. I mean, you would just have a knife ready, wouldn't you? Spent all that time fucking unhooking it. There's a bit of flaw with this plan going on, I think. Get that hat shut. Run away. Totally looks like they're in Tremor Country. Fucking fly off his car. Dun, dun. Like all got time to get out and like, right, let's take a picture together. Get the right, your boyfriend. Oh, it's not working. That old chestnut. Is it broken? Is it not? Does it explode? So yeah, I've cleared up a few of my videos there. That's pretty cool. Get myself busy in the background as Robert Englund's about to sacrifice himself. Again, the whole like he's the creator, he must destroy it. It's a scream about fucking redemption. He runs in. We're all gonna run in. I mean, the snake would have got out by now. You know, to come here, fear of snakes. You would just fucking... You would be... Oh, there you go. Forgot to plug the fucker in, didn't he? He's got to sacrifice himself. Fear's just on fire though as well, isn't it? There you go. Thought you were friends. Oh, don't forget your bike. And the helmet. I mean, it's good going. I mean, just wanted to keep his bike. Bike's precious. He won it in the competition. His sponsorship. Boom. I mean, nice practical effect with shitty CGI effect. Smoky, smoky. So 4 survive. Only 1 returns for the sequel. Oh, it's still alive, isn't it? There you go. Fucking didn't phase it. See, that's where the film you think would end. Ends up in the fucking acid bath now, I remember. Hey, Boar versus Python. That was around because Boar was a film as well. But there's definitely a bit of a demand for it. I mean, look how many fucking Anaconda movies they made. Here it comes. They're all together now. Big action plan. There's a fucking snake that just comes smashing through the wall. I mean, would you run? Of course you would. Just take that fucking Hacksaw Jim Duggan it. Goes for the acid bath though, isn't it? Like, you could take out 15 minutes of this movie easy. The whole fucking getting him out the hole and the whole like delay of the explosion, the whole sacrifice, should that not have been it? You know what I mean? I mean, there you go. Smacked it with a fucking crowbar. Have that. The acid bath. Run! See, the special effects look terrible on that bit. He's managed to find himself a fucking prison door to hide it on. There's the tail back. Oh, I'm going to electrocute its tail. I mean, just some electrical wires hanging around. I don't think it's a bad movie, especially like who they've got and stuff like that. It's the fact that, you know, a lot's put on the special effects that, you know, for the time would have been possible, but now, ooh. Again, to shoot it. I mean, that should have been enough. He shot right in the fucking eye. Definitely got its attention. Dun, 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 dun. Oh yeah, on the acid bath. It dunks its head in, doesn't it? I mean, he should have been dead. I mean, possibly been bitten twice there. And he's dead. He's got a... It's had 4 goes at trying to bite him. And now this machine's not working. There you go. It's going to get fucking toasted into the acid bath. Six months later, it's just like, how are you, man? There you go. New bike. He's got his own shop. Speed chest, fuck that. See, the two doofuses are now fucking check fucking... what's that about? Should have just the fucking python skeleton around the room. Totally looks wrong, like I killed a giant python, this is all I've got to talk about. Sell your bikes. They make amends. So he's all happy there, you know, content, but he turns up the sequel as a fucking raging lunatic. Like everything must die. No. Confession of love. Oh, she's pregnant. I mean, yeah, just talk about wrapping it up. Fuck me, man. There you go. Jeremy Jeremy McCartney gets a name like as, and then the cast comes up. It's just like that's pretty bad as well. So how many Kenny the Closers out of 10? It's like, it's like a free Kenny the Closers. I mean, looking back at it at the time, it's great how much cast they've got in it, and like again, you know, like Robert Englund's the fucking crazy like Frankenstein character. Casper Van Dien's just in it for the check. You know, the references to Karate Kid are there, for Will Wheaton's in there, and oh my god, there's Jeff Goodman, Jeff Hall, two Jeffs next to each other. The special effects have not aged well. The film is like literally 15 minutes too long. This should be like an hour, and should be 80 minutes max, this one. I do think it could be like put on Netflix and, you know, get a few watches if they just market it right. You know what I mean? Casper Van Dien's hardly in this movie. Robert Englund's got quite a bigger role, but it's down to like the main childness, you know. As I say, it doesn't know how it really wants to end. Less is more with creature features, I think, you know what I mean? I mean, going back to the whole Jaws and Silver Bullet thing, but like, they didn't have the technology wasn't there, you know what I mean? But they made it work. But again, this is like, oh yeah, we can put it there, and like, right. And this film particularly, you'll probably look at about 3 or 4 scenes where you really, really want it in there, and really, really fucking deliver it. Not just like it's not common. Like again, if you look back at the Evil Beneath the Loch Ness, how many times the Loch Ness monster swims past. And it doesn't matter if it's just flipped horizontally to look like it's swimming a different direction. You know, it's that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? It's like, so less is more. I mean, a lot of people have worked on this. It's been shot on Kodak, but it's just a free, I mean, the new metal music in there. So hang on, Cellar Dwellers just being on there. Kevin Kay, Regan Youth, Damn, talked about them before. Squat, Flavourer, Evan Lawson, The Groove, William T. Smith. So they're just like some of the bands I had on there. Let's come in there. There's I think a lot of Doctors there. But yeah, again, it's not aged well at the time. I just remember having so much love. The fact that I wanted to find a Python 2 and then I find Snakes and go, oh, hang on, it says Python 2 for milliseconds before it goes, oh, it's there. And then I 2000 it was made, and then just to see Will Wheaton standing behind us, and I wish I had got this copy signed, but for now it's just another story. I've been Stephen Monkey Mason. I will be back for Snakes. I am going to do Snakes. It comes with stills. I'm going to do Snakes, as I say, these are the throwaway podcasts, but for now, thanks for listening. Goodbye for now.